Hello, everyone. We're the Syrian Design Archive. We're going to start by introducing ourselves. My name is Kinda Ganoum. I'm Syrian Polish graphic designer. I'm based in Belgium. I graduated from Damascus University as an architect, but soon after graduation, I shifted my career into graphic design. I completed my Master of Visual Art in St. Lucas, Antwerp, and my work primarily revolved around branding identities, typography, and research. And Arabic typography patterns play significant source of inspiration in my work. Through my career, I collaborate with different international entities such as Obama Foundation, Expo Dubai 2020, Netflix, Domestika, and many more. Additionally, I'm a co-founder of the Syrian Design Archive.
My name is Sally El Assafin. I was born and raised in Damascus, Syria. I graduated from Damascus University with a bachelor degree in architecture. In Syria, I was a full-time architect in a studio in Damascus. And currently, I am based in the Netherlands. I was always passionate about street photography and Arabic typography and old shop signage designs. And currently, I am one of the co-founders of the Syrian Design Archive.
My name is Hala Al-Afsa. I am a Syrian graphic designer, and my journey started in a bachelor in architecture where I fell in love with shapes and forms. And then throughout my journey, I developed a love for design and research projects, and I decided to shift my career to a full-time graphic designer, illustrator, and researcher.
We grew up in Syria, surrounded by the beauty of Damascenes and Syrian culture. Through my career, I always faced a problem when it comes to searching and learning about design in the Arab world. I noticed a concerned lack of information about designers in our region, and on top of that, I've noticed that in our education system, we learn more about foreigner designers rather than our own. But hopefully, it's getting better. While getting my master in graphic design here in Belgium, I really wanted to take that opportunity to research more about the Arabic visual identity, but it felt too big. So I decided to narrow it down to something felt more personal, and that led to a project focused on exploring the Syrian history in design. And here I faced two big problems. First of all, that was a complete absence of a proper archiving and documenting of Syrian design. Second, and the most heartbreaking problem is the fact that too many things were lost and destroyed in the war. So I had to start from the scratch, do my own investigation, but I was lucky to end up having such a significant amount of data. And with that privilege, a common sense of responsibility to uncover those hidden treasures and bring them to light. The team came along as I shared the idea with my friend Sally and Hala, knowing that both of them they shared the same interest. After engaging in long discussion, the idea of the Syrian Design Archive became clearer.
We came to the realization that there was a need to establish a platform where we could share our discoveries and make them available to the public. Knowing the power of social media as an initial platform to reach people from all around the globe and make it easier for anyone curious about graphic design in Syria, we started by creating several accounts for the archive on Instagram and Facebook to test and see how everything will go. The project can be described as a source for Syrian graphic design. It is a celebration of the unique Syrian design heritage in an age of rapid technological evolution. The archive documents a range of printed and non-printed materials, and we ended up forming the archive the way you can see it today, divided into 5 sections. And these sections are prints, stamps, media, logos, and signage. Let's take a closer look at each section. First, the Syrian Type Archive. In this section, we focus on signage designs in Syria's streets. We photograph and document the different types of signage designs, mostly vintage, from printed shop signs done by calligraphers to carved on stone signage designs, dimensional letters, and many other forms. So we document and we try to know who the calligrapher or the designer was and what year it was made. When we started posting, people were so engaged with this account that it brought to them a lot of memories and sense of home. We are not in a position where we can choose whether a signage is a good design or not, or if it's worth documenting or not. We are trying to collect everything we can and observe how these elements, with their randomness, contribute to creating the identity of our cities. Important to mention, unfortunately, a lot of those signage that you are seeing now in this presentation are either gone or badly damaged.
The second section is the Syrian Print Archive. Here we focus on print materials produced in Syria, printing house, and designed by Syrian designers and artists living in Syria or outside, like posters, book covers, flyers, business cards, magazines, anything's printable, even labels. And we notice that the Syrian graphic design is distinguished by its rich history, reflected in incorporating like traditional Islamic art and calligraphy. And Arabic typography plays a significant part in Syrian design history, where Arabic calligraphy takes the center stage, creating visual appealing composition, and the style is defined by the bold colors choices, rich cultural symbolism, and a strong sense of minimalism. Through the archive and the work that we collected, we noticed that any type of art form needed freedom to flourish. And active design in Syria was flourishing, but nowadays, due to so many challenges, restriction, it's so difficult to be controversial in Syria. And to share any kind of work, you need to be you need to have the freedom of speech, and you need to be outside of Syria. And as an example, here we can see the graduation project of Munir al-Shahrani in 1977. The project was condemning the governmental authorities and their violence practices. And due to this project, the university was closed down, and later on he had to escape Syria and even change his name. Many Syrian artists used their talents to advocate the social and political causes, becoming activists in their process. And poster movement like this evaluate the Arabic and Syrian design from advertising and film industry to voices that raise awareness about strong struggle for human rights, social, political, and national freedom. Nazir Naba was one of the Syrian artists to support the Palestinian resistance. He drew a picture from everyday life in Syria and the situation in Palestine. He tried to illustrate the important action in simple and clear ways, using both the realistic and the simple style. Not forgetting the Abdelkader Arnaout and his unique and modern style when it's come to create posters about the Palestinian resistance. He used signs and symbols that everyone could understand, no matter the language. And also Yusuf Abdellaki, he was one of the designers and artists that his art often mirrored his political opinions. The exciting part of this work is the chance to stumble upon so many hidden gems. For example, we found the first Syrian women magazine, Layla, which goes back to 1962. This magazine has a special place in our heart. Knowing that the team of women was behind creating this magazine, same as our archive. And in this section, we're not only archiving and documenting the covers from the outside, but also we're trying to take the look into the books itself and documenting the titles.
The section is one of our biggest database and collection. That's due to Kinda's hobby and collecting stamps since she was a little kid. Later on, it became a huge resource to our archival work, and we collect stamps and categorize them sorted by year and occasion and designer behind them. Syrian stamps highlight many aspects of Syrian culture. Some of the collections are very rare and done by famous artists and Syrian designers, like the one in the top row featuring traditional folk tales from 1970, designed by Muhammad Harb Tinawi, or known as Abu Subhi at-Tinawi. The second row, there's also a rare collection of children's stories from 1976, designed by Nazir Naba. In the last row, we can see how stamps help preserve certain aspects of traditional clothing and heritage sites and famous historical monuments. The Syrian Media Archive. Here, we specialize in archiving a lot of illustrations, Arabic typography, and graphic design featured in the theme songs of TV programs, series, and movies, also theater. In this archive, we have actually a very big issue that we don't have any acknowledgement of the people who drew or designed these beautiful designs. We don't know how to get a hold of the artists to be able to credit them in the archive. And most of our work is and archive in this section is based off YouTube and online resources. The Syrian Logo Archive. In this section, we focus on collecting logos and trademarks in Syria and redrawing them and categorizing them based on the year they were designed in or the designers that are behind them.
We never realized how the archive had become intertwined in our lives until we began narrating our experience. During a visit to Syria, Kinda went to a shop in the old city of Damascus, and the first thing she did was snapping a photo of the old signage of that shop. This kind of behavior has become second nature to each one of us. For me, I have always been fascinated by old signage designs and street photography. Some of the photos you see on our signage and street archives are shots that I've taken even before the idea of the archive has come to life. Before, it was a mere coincidence to find and take a photo of an old signage. Now we seek it. We go to new places, we venture through unknown alleys in search of gems to document. In the same visit to Old Damascus, Kinda also found in a storage place connected to the shop she was visiting a large number of books, adorned with beautiful illustrations and even old business cards. It was remarkable how, at times, the archive seemed to effortlessly weave its way into our lives, though most of the time we struggle to find materials. Despite the challenges we face, it's heartening to occasionally share a positive story and recount how we stumble upon something unexpected. One of these discoveries was a school book that goes back to the 90s. It's the one on the most right part of this slide. It has played a significant role in the education of many Syrian generations. This book features Rabab, with her striking red dress. This character takes a place in the collective memory of those generations as a reminder of a reading session in elementary school. Now we see it as the creative illustration of Mumtaz al-Bahra. Our connection with the archive has granted us a fresh perspective on these materials. In the past, we acknowledged them as school books, images, products, packaging, or just magazines, often oblivious to the creative minds behind them. We didn't recognize their artistic value at the time. However, incorporating them into the archive has changed our view. Through the archive, we've learned to appreciate their significance as cultural heritage and reflections of our visual history. This has allowed us to understand the world of that era in a way that goes beyond our original purpose. In this way, the archive has shifted our perception of these objects, giving them a deeper sense of meaning and enriching our understanding of our cultural and design heritage.
Back in 2021, Kinda and I visited the studio of the Syrian artist Yusuf Abdellaki. We were amused and very happy by how much materials and posters and illustrations we have found in his studio. For those who don't know, Yusuf Abdellaki is a Syrian artist and he's well known for his strong opinions against the government. And these opinions have strongly influenced his work. When we told him about the archive, he was kind enough to grant us permission to take the scans of his original posters. The original posters were big enough that we couldn't find any regular scanner to fit them. So me and Kinda went on an adventure in search of a scanner big enough to be able to make digital copies of his posters. Syria, as you may know, suffered from 13 years of war, so there are a lot of challenges to find a printing shop that has electricity and the right equipment. As we were walking around the streets of Damascus, Kinda recognized a printing shop that she used to go to back in her architectural bachelor years. We hurried to that shop and we entered quickly, and the shop owner was very welcoming and helpful until I realized and acknowledged the amount of portraits of the governmental figures on his walls. I tried calmly to tell Kinda about what I have seen as he took the posters to the back to help us create digital copies in the scanner. As this was very scary to us in this situation, as you may know, and we shared before, that it's not safe for us to speak our mind or political opinion in Syria if it's not agreeing with the current government. So the situation can be like very dangerous for us and even in some situations life threatening. We were there for a while in the shop, and the owner started bragging about his family and his kids. And ironically, his kids are working for the government and for cybersecurity in particular. And here we realized that we needed to distract him from viewing what these posters visually expressed, because Yusuf Abdallaki, the artist, he's well known for his critical political opinions, and some of the posters were influenced by his thoughts. So we started distracting him by shifting places and trying to block his screen and creating a chit chat and small talk about the services of the shop or his family, anything to distract him from reading the posters until we made it out safely. Although it was a rush, the scans we took out from his printing shops, we were not able to use them later because they were all glitched and in a very bad quality.
Another story to tell. I've been collecting stamps since I was a kid from all around the world, but then I decided to focus more on the Syrian stamp. And to get to data for our archive, I headed to the Damascus official post office and I asked for the information. And as it often the case, the official government institute, they were not so helpful. And bit after, I stumbled upon a Facebook page called the Syrian Stamp Club. At first, I thought it's a joke, but I decided to reach out to them. And they were incredibly helpful, and they invited me to visit the club. And when I arrived, it was a bit difficult to find a place in the beginning, but still, I made it there. I found myself in a small community of passionate collectors like Bassam Ayash, who's a lawyer, Haitham Abu Ghazali, who's an engineer, who are warmly welcomed me. And I spent hours discussing about the stamps, the information, how many stamps they were printed. I mean, the amount of information that we get that hour, it was amazing. So through our archive, we want to highlight those people, we want to highlight those stories and share who's helping as well in this collecting those information and saving this data.
In the Syrian archive, we focus mainly on sharing and preserving other people's work. But we are designers ourselves, and that heavily impacts our work and our archival practice and how we do it. And most importantly, how important and valuable we find the materials that we collect. A year ago, we were accepted in an open call initiated by a publishing studio in Lebanon called Wara. We decided then to create stories to tell and communicate to the people how our practice behind the archives is and what lies behind the grid and the posts they see on daily basis. We wanted to add the archive and highlight the necessity of a digital archive in such rough times. So we are happy to say that we have published our first edition of the zine publication titled Archival Journeys, and it's ready for purchase. It contains a lot more untold stories and adventures we share together as a team and with the archive itself.
Our journey started 3 years ago and has been an amazing experience. We are thankful to be learning so much and will continue to learn more in the future, for this is only the start. We were able in these past 3 years to connect with many people, as we had hoped for. People starting reaching out to us, sharing their archives, photographs, and finds. This is one of the biggest rewards of starting the archive, seeing the involvement of the people and the Syrian society, and being able to shed some light on graphic design in Syria. Through our journey also, we were part of a number of exhibitions in Europe, and we also did talks in different places. And recently, we also did a workshop with the Nieuwe Institute in Rotterdam, Netherlands. And today, here we are sharing our story with you. We also had the chance to talk about the archive on many online platforms and magazines.
We believe that archives are like small pieces of a larger puzzle, and in order to grow and reach more people, we are collaborating and sharing our findings with other archives, such as Biblioteca, Archive of the Archives, founded by the Looming Council, and the Arabic Design Archive, a design archive that focuses on publications and printed matter in the Arab world, and NAD, Network of Archives in Design and Digital Culture in Rotterdam.
Our future vision is to create a website for the Syrian Design Archive for anyone who's interested in graphic design, research, and inspiration. But it's taking a bit of more time than we expected due to copyright and legal issue. We are trying to find and highlight new names, share their stories, their work, and create profile for each Syrian designer. And we're hoping to find women names in the Syrian scene. And archiving more materials, adding more section in the future, for example, a banknote archive, and also creating new edition for the zine. And the most important thing is to tell the story of Syria from another perspective, a perspective that's different what media shows nowadays. Thank you.